Rachel Butler-Norris, and I'm the artistic director at Circus Juventas. Filling these store windows with our beautiful Circus Juventas costumes has been a really fun way for us to share our 30-year history with all of you. My parents, Dan and Betty Butler, are the founders of Circus Juventas, and for many years before that, they were circus performers themselves. We will be displaying a costume from each of them in our window display. But first, we owe a debt of gratitude to many community partners who responded to our request for this window display. First and foremost, Sarah Martin from JLL Brokerage Services. She went to bat for us with the landlord, the State Teachers Retirement System of Ohio, and we received the approval to go ahead. Thank you also to Martha Anderson, President of Anderson Property Management, and the Vice President, Peter Knutzweg, as well as their building engineer, Larry Gateman of CBRE. Council member Rebecca Necker, representing Ward 2, gave us the first thumbs up for our idea. And Grand Avenue Business Association President Chris Jensen, who also encouraged us to make the pitch. You will hear brief comments from both of them in a few minutes. And for the 35 mannequins displaying our costumes, we owe a huge thank you to Mike I and Russell Larson at ASF Store Fixtures in Northeast Minneapolis. And on that note, our gorgeous costumes that will be revealed momentarily, I want to tell you briefly what goes into constructing and designing these. Each year, we work with a professional scriptwriter to create an original narrative for our summer show. And then we start building an idea book for the costumes and the stage sets. We research the time period, color schemes, and also keep in mind the acrobatic feats that will be performed in the costumes. My artistic team and myself give our inspirations to the costume designers, and the process begins. Sketches, fabric swatches, and templates are made and shipped to us that we try on our performers. And these designers reside all across the country as well as Europe. As you move along the window gallery, you will see the name of the character on each costume as well as the designer. When you look at each of the costumes, we want you to remember that our performers are just young people, students from ages 10 to 21, and that is pretty remarkable. At this time, I would like to introduce my Circus Juventas partner and Executive Director, Rob Dawson, who will share a few words about our school and upcoming show. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rachel. That was amazing, and this impromptu thing. For me, what really makes this display so special is everybody that's here, everybody that it took to put this on. All of you that in the community, the sponsors, the mayor, everyone being here and supporting us. The community is something that brought me to Circus Juventas. I too came from a circus family like Rachel's parents. I started in youth circus, and then I parlayed that into a professional career. I performed at numerous theme parks, Cirque du Soleil, but I always felt the desire to give back. I was offered to come here on a visit maybe 5-6 years ago, and I fell in love with Circus Juventas because of the community. The show is amazing, but getting this turnout to stand here on the sidewalk and talk about costumes shows you how important we are within this community. 30 years is a huge milestone. Thanks to Dan and Betty for dreaming up this idea of bringing youth circus to the Twin Cities, and it's just flourished. Right now we're serving over 1,500 youth throughout the year. We parlayed some of the training that we do with our students into professional careers. Some have gone on to Cirque du Soleil, some have gone on to Ringling Brothers and other circuses. But really, what makes us so special is what we do for everyone, all the students, not just the ones for their professional career, but some of the values and the mission of Circus Juventas. Instilling some of these life values like teamwork, hard work. If you fall, you get back up and you try again. That's what circus is all about. Standing in front of an audience. It's such great life lessons that we're teaching some of these students. So thank you all again for being here. You'll all have the opportunity to come see Circus Juventas this summer. Our big summer show, Spectacular Jangala, is starting July 26th. and runs for 3 weekends. So please make sure you come, support Circus Juventas and support our mission. And I'd like to introduce Paul Mayor Melvin Carter. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here. This is cool. This is an exciting partnership. I always complain that the only thing that I don't like about my job is that I still can't find the magic wand in there. And it's just a reminder for me that even as the mayor of the city, there's always a million things that you love and hope for a city that you can't just wave a magic wand and make happen. It requires really good partners. To see this partnership take place, all the folks who you just thanked, all the folks who have been a part of making this partnership happen, it's really cool. It gives us an opportunity to highlight an incredible treasure in our city. You know, I tell folks one of the great marks of a great Minnesotan is when you're excited about something or you think something holds a lot of potential or promise, you have to make sure nobody ever knows about it. And I think that's a terrible rule. And Circus Juventas has been an asset in our community for so long. And there are still people who don't know that you can go to the circus in St. Paul. There are still people who don't know that you can take your child, or a child of all ages, right, who can take a circus class. And there are still people who don't know that it's not even about the circus. It's about all of those things that you just heard. It's about picking yourself back up. It's about learning something new. It's about challenging ourselves to express ourselves in a new way. And we all know that that's exactly the spirit of what our children need. I know because I'm a Circus Juventas parent. We've had a child who's been in Circus Juventas trampoline classes. We tried our best as a collective to break the trampolines every once a week, but we haven't gotten them broken yet, and the teachers have been very patient with us. But it's a great organization, and that's what makes me excited to be able to highlight that great organization. It's just a great partnership to let more people know about Circus Juventas while bringing a really cool street-level exhibit right here to Grand Avenue, just in time for Grand Old Day. We're excited for Grand Old Day to happen in this community this weekend, and it'll give us something really cool to celebrate. I see our Ward 2 City Council member here, Rebecca Naker. It's good to see you as I talk about partnerships. I'll get in trouble if I try to mention all of the incredible partners who are around this space, but I'd be remiss if I didn't point you out, Councilwoman Naker. Thank you for your work. Thank you for your passion. I think I hear you say Grand Avenue 6 or 7 times a day, and we appreciate having a council member who is so focused on the street level vitality here and make sure that we have the resources and support that we need for this avenue to continue to be a vibrant centerpiece of activity in our city for the next generation to come. Thank you all for being here. We're really, really excited. Put my hand in there. Let's lower some curtains.
Move that butt.
All right. Yeah.
Should we do a big community
Countdown? Yes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Half. 0.
Watch as our amazing performers escalate the ladder.
One thing we didn't have to do.
That's right.
They're agile.
That's right. They can get up the ladder.
Yes. Oh, no worries at all. I forgot about it.
Mayor, thank you so much for coming. One picture in front of a window, or you can which one? Yeah.
We have a few more comments that we're going to make right after the mayor takes a picture, and then he's got a lot of things on his agenda today. So once again, thank you. We'll take this picture, and we've got a few more comments coming up.
There we go.
Should we move the ladder?
Oh, should we move the ladder or is that in the shine? Okay. Okay. And maybe just could we see the umbrella a little bit? Just part of the There we go. There we go.
Also, the lights aren't on. I don't know.
Oh, shoot.
I heard just Sierra say something about that.
Cool.
Oh, that's great. You can see the house. Thank you. All right, Rob.
Yeah?
You can introduce me kind of now. She's ready. And I'll hold your finger. All right.
So next up on our quick agenda here, I'd like to introduce McKenna Cook, a former CJ student who's going to talk a little about her experience with Circus Juventus, and then I'm sure wearing some of these costumes at some point. So McKenna.
Woo!
Hi, my name is McKenna Cook, MaKennaCook. I started performing at Circus Juventus around the age of 11, and I stuck with it for about 7 years. And I would say the biggest highlight for me was actually the costumes that's on display here. I had the honor of playing Alice in the 2016 production of Butler-Norris. But honestly, Circus Juventus has really taught me a lot of life lessons, and a lot of which I've been able to bring into adulthood. I'm 22 years old now, so it's been almost 10 years since I started at Circus. And I think one of the biggest things that I learned is resilience. You know, training day after day, every single day, for many, many years. You know, you're the only one that is responsible for you and how you show up. And as someone who performed a lot of dance and theater, it was on me to rehearse and to train and to practice. And I remember during Wonderland, I had been told time and time again that I was one of the youngest leads that had ever done a show at Juventus, and I really took that to heart. I would, during school, write the show order in my notebooks instead of paying attention to my teacher. When school is out, I would spend my mornings going over routine after routine. I would spend hours in the morning before I would even go to Juventus for our rehearsals. And it really just, it taught me so much, and it taught me a lot about the community. We had the opportunity to go to Washington, D.C. a few years after Wonderland had its show run, and that was just such an honor to really bring the magic of Circus Juventus to Washington, D.C. One of my favorite parts that really, really stuck with me was when we were able to do the Circus of the Senses performance, where we were able to bring in the blind community and the deaf community. At that point, I had just finished American Sign Language 1 at my high school, and I had took it upon myself to learn all of my lines in American Sign Language. And afterwards, we were able to I was able to communicate with that community and really talk to them about their experience. And since then, I actually went to college for American Sign Language. So, you know, there's just so many different life lessons that Circus Juventus has taught me, and I'm very
Thank you so much for coming. It's always so nice to hear from the students and their perspective. Next up on the docket is Councilmember Rebecca Necker.
Woo!
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, I just can't stop beeping ear to ear, and I know you're not supposed to yell into microphones. That's exactly what I'm doing. My name is Rebecca Naker. I'm honored to be the council member representing Ward 2, which includes the wonderful Grand Avenue. I had to laugh when the mayor said that I talked about Grand Avenue multiple times a day, because literally this morning I've already talked about Grand Avenue in every single one of my conversations leading up until this moment. I talked about it in my very first breakfast meeting. I said, I'm going to see Circus Juventas Window display. So I'm like, huh. And I said it on my Housing and Redevelopment Authority check-in call, literally as I was pulling up. And everyone said, huh. And I think the general reaction is, this is just such a neat idea. And I just want to thank everyone who's been part of this, because from the very first moment I got an email about this from Carolyn, I just thought to myself, this is what makes our city so great. It's this kind of ingenuity and this creativity and this bringing together of different creative partners within our city that brings vibrancy not just to Grand, but to our entire community. So we're lucky to live in the best city in the world, the most creative city, and this is just one more example of that. So thank you all so much. Don't let this be the last time you're on Grand Avenue or stay in Grand Avenue today.
Woo!
Thank you so much. And I'd like to bring up the Grand Avenue Business Association President, Chris Jensen.
Chris Jensen, business owner of Grand Avenue, president of the Grand Avenue Business Association. I just want to thank everybody for coming out today, celebrating this exciting event. We want to thank Circus Juventas for choosing Grand Avenue, this incredible storefront activation in celebration of our community. Like Grand Avenue itself, Circus Juventas is a one-of-a-kind original that helps put our incredible city on the map. Thank you also, Anderson Management. Martha, although I recently met you, I can tell right away, they're the professionals who are committed to the revitalization and ongoing support of these beautiful properties. They realize, intrinsically their success and the success of Grand Avenue community as a whole are all interconnected. Not only did they say yes to this fabulous installation, but they said with excitement and go to future partnership with them. I also want to thank city leaders, Mayor Carter, he just left, and then Councilmember Naker, thank you. Proud to partner with the city in building a brighter future for our avenue. Starting in small ways, hopefully bigger ways soon to come. Together we'll make the avenue more beautiful, safe, and welcoming to our businesses and visitors. Lastly, we hope to all see your smiling faces on Sunday. Grand Old Day coming up, our 51st year. We've been working really hard, a lot of volunteers involved. So we will see you Sunday. Thank you, everybody.
Woo! Did you get some photos of the crowd too?
All right, once again, thank you everyone for coming. This concludes our event for today. Please make your way around and check out the windows. If you have any questions, we'll all be around. We'd love to talk to you and get to read all of you. So thank you so much.
Woo!
I see you guys. There are things happening. So many things. Oh, you want a flyer?
Oh, did they do over there?
I started getting pictures on the other side.
Yeah. And I think they... Oh yeah, amazing.